In this video, I'm going to share with you my 2021 favorite hair and skincare products, the ones that really prove to make a difference to the quality of my skin and hair, both old favorites and new ones. Hi, my name is Marisa. Thank you for coming to my channel where we talk about everything beauty and lifestyle, focusing on over 50 issues. Now, last year, a little bit earlier in December, I think, I published a video with my 2020 favorite hair and skincare products, and the products that I mentioned in that video are still amongst my best ones, and the majority of them, I still use them. So I've linked it below in the description of this video, here in the cards and at the end card. And here in this video, I'm going to focus on my best beloved holy grails and also new products that I think really brought added value to my routine. And before we start with skincare, I would just like to provide you with some notes regarding my skin type and issues. So I'm 51 years old with all the aging issues and problems that are related with my age, and I have a combination skin type, because here on my T-zone it gets very oily very quickly. Nevertheless, I have rosacea here on the sides of my face, on the jaw in particular, and in my case the rosacea shows up as very thin red veins, capillaries, that make this area redder than the remainder of the face. I also have broken veins here on the nose, but these ones are larger and more easily identifiable, while the ones here on the sides of my jaw are more like a patchwork. I've never been able to say exactly what triggers my rosacea because it doesn't have a flare up from one day to the other. It's like a build-up over time of redness. But I know that besides genetics, some of the most common root causes for rosacea are also probably applicable to me, like cold, very strong red wine, and any possible product that I place on my skin that may affect my skin barrier. And all of this to say that my skin is very complicated, in particular these areas here, and I almost treat it like a sensitive dry skin. And I've discovered that by far the two active ingredients that have brought the most added benefits to my skin are azelaic acid and niacinamide, because in conjunction they really help to control my redness, to control my oil on the T-zone and breakouts. They fade pigmentation, they reduce inflammation on my skin. And I've also discovered, or rather confirmed, that to achieve the best results, consistency is key. And for me, the easiest way to achieve this is to reduce the number of steps or layers of products that I have to apply on my skin. The easiest the routine, the most probable is that I will comply with it. So by far the two products that made the biggest change that I already mentioned in the previous video, but they are so key that I have to mention here once more, are these two. And these are the Dr. Sam's Flawless Brightly and Flawless Nightly serums. I use the Brightly in the morning, the Nightly in the night, of course, and both of them contain azelaic acid and niacinamide, but additionally the Brightly has a weaker form of vitamin C for antioxidant protection, and the Brightly has a weaker form of retinoid. And I have to say that if I stopped using this, in particularly the Brightly, I can see my skin starting to become less stable, redder and redder as the time goes by. I also feel that these two in conjunction ensure that my skin exfoliates by itself in a very light, natural way, that the skin doesn't feel thick, but on the other side it's not too strong to the point of damaging my skin barrier, which is key. So can't live without these two. This past year I've started to use the Dermatica service as well, And my particular mixture includes as well azelaic acid at 4%, niacinamide 4%, and tretinoin. At the moment, I'm with 0.05%, and I don't think I will pass beyond this because my skin is very sensitive to tretinoin. I cannot use this product every day. I use it every other day or even 2-3 times per week. And when I don't use this, I use the nightly. And the reason is that although I'm very careful with the method of application, I use 1 pump or 2 depending on how my skin is doing. I always apply it on top of moisturizing cream. I don't apply any close to my sensitive areas, but the issue is my skin flakes like crazy. It's very difficult to manage trying to apply on top of it sunscreens and foundations and test foundations. So this is a product that I'm going to continue to use, and I'm getting a benefit from it because I feel and I can see that my skin is stronger, but I cannot replace the nightly for this one because this is a little bit too strong for me for daily use. So this year I'm definitely going to continue to use these two, and I will switch between them depending on how my skin is doing. Of course, key to any skincare regimen is the daily use of sunscreen, and by far in 2021, my favorite ones, the ones that I reach out the most, were these two, which are not new to me. This is the Neostrata, currently is Neostrata Defend, and the Elta MD UV Elements. Both of these are 100% mineral sunscreen. Both of them are tinted, although it's a very light tint, and this one in particular may leave a white cast in darker skin tones, and I use them depending on what I'm going to place on top. For instance, if I want to test out a foundation, I find that this one is the best one. It has a liquidy, very thin consistency, almost feels like a silicone primer. And the finish is a matte one, so I feel that it disturbs less the result that the foundation can provide. And this is my overall favorite, the one that I reach on the majority of the days, because it's hydrating but not too much. It has just right tint for me, and I can even use it by itself without placing anything on top. I have tried other sunscreens from Elta MD, namely the Restore line, which I find is a little bit too hydrating. For my skin, becomes too radiant, too glossy. And I've tried another one that contains niacinamide, but I find that that one in particular dries my skin a little bit too much. So, but these two, love them. In terms of moisturizing creams for face and body, I have to say that I've found 3 new ones that I really like and I'm really going to continue to use. But I would like to mention this one that I already mentioned in the previous video. This is Rilastil Difesa. This is from an Italian laboratory. I get it from Amazon. It's not very easy to find, but I love it because if my skin is very dry, very reactive, and not tolerating very complicated creams, this one is like stripping to bare necessities. It has glycerin and hyaluronic acid, and the occlusive in it is a vegetable oil. And I find that it sinks into my skin and my skin just loves it. I apply it at night and in the morning it feels much better, much calmer. That's the right word. It makes my skin calm. And it's my favorite occlusive moisturizer to place on my under eye area when I feel that my under eye area is particularly dry, which is very often, unfortunately. I would also like to give a special mention to these two, and these are my favorite body moisturizers, without which I cannot live. They are really key to control my chicken skin in the sides of my arms and on my legs, and these are the Ameliorate and the Dr. Sam's Flawless Body Therapy. They are both great. They work in similar ways. They have a little bit of lactic acid. This one sinks a little bit better into the skin, but this one works a little bit faster. But I use them interchangeably and I love them both equally. Last year I mentioned the CeraVe Facial Moisturizing Lotion, the PM version, as one of my favorite moisturizers, and I have 2 or 3 tubes still at home. I'm definitely going to use it, but I have to say that this one has been replaced last year by this moisturizer from Dermatica, and this is called the Ultralight Recovery Moisturizers, and I just love this. It's light, it has a little bit of silicones but not too much, it doesn't feel very silicone at the touch. It has a little bit of richness but not too much either, and has all the wonderful things that we would like to have in a moisturizer. Ceramides, vitamin B3, B5 and vitamin E. Squalane, shea butter, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, you name it, this has it. It's a beautiful product, an all-rounder. I can use it in the morning, I can use it in the night, and I particularly love it because I feel that I can have in one tube all the ingredients that are noteworthy and proven to have an effect on sensitive skin barrier issued skins like mine. Love it. Another product that I've been heavily using, and by this I mean 2 to 3 times per week, is this one, the Dr. Sam's Flawless Mask. This is the second tube of it, and I already have another one in backup. The weather has been so cold, so aggressive in the past months that this product has been key to ensure that the moisturization in my skin has been maintained at a decent level. So after a day of being in the outdoor cold, or even worse, of jumping between the outdoor cold and the very warm indoor heating, I find that this product is the best solution. As soon as I get home, I remove all my makeup, apply a heavy layer of this mask, and just let it sink in while I'm doing my other stuff. It's not a pretty sight, but it's a very efficient one. I am also interested in testing out the effects of peptides in my skin, particularly in my under eye area, which is very thin, very sensitive. I cannot make it stronger by using a retinol, and even niacinamide makes it drier. So I thought about using peptides, and I'm testing this one out, the Drunken Elephant Protini Polypeptide Cream, and I have to say that my under eye area seems to like it. At least it doesn't complain about it. And here on the sides, I seem to have noticed a very light improvement. It's very nuanced, but the skin seems to be more elastic. Not sure that is the right word, but at least smoother, and it doesn't seem to crease so often. I only got this like at the end of November, so these are very early days, but the results seem to indicate that peptides may be a good solution to try to fortify as much as possible the skin on my under eye area. I also like this one in particular because it doesn't contain essential oils, fragrance, denatured alcohol and other nasties, so I feel a little confident in using it in sensitive areas. But if you know of other peptide creams that also comply with these requirements and you enjoy using, please leave below in the comments of this video. I really would like to try more. In terms of face cleansers, I still enjoy and use all the gel and cleansing balms that I mentioned in the previous video, but one particular discovery that really stuck with me is this one, and this is the Paula's Choice Omega Plus Complex Cleansing Balm. And I have to say, this has been the one that I've been reaching out the most in the last 2-3 months. This is my second or third tube. And I really like this because it feels like a cleansing balm, a little bit more liquidy, but it's the same feeling on the skin, but it's extremely effective and really removes the makeup very well. With my very sensitive and complicated skin, I am not a big fan of double cleansing. I only do it in those circumstances when I have sunscreen and layers of makeup and whatnot, and I need to ensure that everything is removed. But for a normal day-to-day application, one cleanse with a very good product is enough for me. Sometimes what I do is I go specifically to the eye area when there may be some remains of mascara or from eyeliners, those gel eyeliners that stay put and don't budge. I go with a cotton bud with something like a little bit of Bioderma before I use a product like this and clean the most difficult. And then when I use this product, my skin becomes completely clean. And that is one of the reasons as well why I prefer tubing mascaras, because that type of mascaras makes this cleansing process much easier. If you enjoy and appreciate scents in your face cleansers, this one probably will not be for you because it does not have synthetic fragrance, and although it has some oils in it, I don't think that either of them are essential oils. But it's a very good, effective cleanser that really works well without stripping the skin. Totally recommend it. In terms of my hair, I have to say that since I decided to go gray and did my buzz cut, the video on that is linked here above as well, my routine has become much simpler. I basically just use the shampoo and the conditioner and a little bit of wax now and again. And the shampoo and conditioner that I'm still using because I do enjoy them and I had several backups are the ones from the Olaplex range, considering that I'm no longer coloring my hair and that my hair length does not allow me to do very elaborate hairstyles, heat styling in particular. I feel that I'm no longer making the most of this type of product, and I'm definitely going to try new shampoos and conditioners this year. I will definitely return to this one if and when my hair becomes longer and I restart to style it with heat, like doing some curls. One product that I did get during 2021 and that I'm very happy that I got is the Dyson Hair Wrap. Of course, at the moment I cannot take advantage of the wrapping abilities, but I use it with this attachment to blow dry my hair and my cat's fur, and with this attachment when I want to dry it in place. What I really like about this tool is that it's very efficient without relying in very hot hair, and that really relieves me because then I'm sure that I'm not damaging my hair follicles. Really love it, very happy that I got it. Do you absolutely have to have it? Of course not. I'm sure there are plenty other hair dryers out there that do the trick similarly well. But for my particular needs, I find that this tool not only is very versatile, but it's also very easy to use and efficient. And that makes me very happy. And this is it, a very short, quick resume on my most loved and used hair and skin products during 2021. I hope you have enjoyed seeing it, and I hope it has given you some ideas for some products that you would like to try yourself during 2022. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, and perhaps you would also like to take a look at the other ones that I have on my hair and skincare playlist that I have linked here for easy access. I would like to thank you for the time that you have just spent with me, and until next time, bye!